And just like that, here we are around the world. Not that we're in every nook and cranny, every crevice of the world. We are here, and only you can tell me where you are. I don't claim to be psychic or sickic. Well, some have called me a little sickic, but it amazes me. I learned recently that you can kind of study your way into becoming a psychic. You can learn to read those tarot cards, there's classes on them. And I have a feeling that dovetails into you making some predictions of your own, because you got to make every reading reasonable. Of course, I don't subscribe to such. The Bible tells me to stay away from mediums and psychics and soothsayers. Do we have any soothsayers anymore in 2024? Or have they all been, have they gone the way of the people who made the 8-track players? I don't know. But welcome. Patrick Filas is first. Good evening, Jack. Good evening to you, Patrick. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Karen Phillips is here. And I know that we've heard from you before. H goes for hi, I think. Or hey, that guy 6. Change is coming, Jack. I'm just worried what kind of change it's going to be, that guy 6. We'll talk about that tonight. Of course, not only will we look at breaking news, breaking as I do this video, of course, as I do this live show, we'll, do 3-4 minutes of politics. I didn't see Trump's rally today, but I didn't see any headlines that came from it. June Joyner is here. Good evening, Jack and friends. Victoria. Do you ever get called Victoria? It's such a beautiful name. As Barnabas Collins said, Vicky, this is in 1795. They went back in time to 1795. And Victoria Winter says, my name is Vicky. And he says, Vicky? Vicky? Never heard of that name before. She says, it's short for Victoria. He says, well, then I wouldn't want to give up a single syllable of it. Victoria. Victoria. What a beautiful name. And Vicky's nice, too. Ted Richards, how are you? Hello out there, world, he says. Yeah. Julie Backus, not Jim Backus. One of the first tonight. A first for me. Hi, Jack. Hi, Julie. Stefan is here. And welcome, Stefan. And Nancy and Terry Whitmore. Well, hi, guys. How you doing? Very loyal. Nice to see you here. Here's someone new, Patty Ford. Hello, Patty. Where are you from? Where do you hang your hat? Do you even have a hat? Tammy Sears is here. Hey, Jack, how you doing this evening? I meant to say Tanya Sears. Wow, it's going by fast. I got to back up to keep up, and that's always a nice problem to have. Shell is here from Canada, campaign chairman for President Trump, but in the state of Canada. Rita, lovely Rita May. Good evening, Jack. Welcome to you. Michael Hoover. Everybody's got, we got Sears, we got Hoover, we not only got the store, but we got the brand names to put in it tonight. I'm Michael Hoover. Forget where you're from, as I forget where Rita is from. Gloria Drummond, how are you? Jesus is the answer. Amen. Hello, everyone, and blessings. Charlotte Surratt is here. Hey, Jack. Hello. Brenda Noyce is here as well. And Cheryl Larson. I used to watch that show in the late 60s. Was this something I was singing? See, I've already forgotten it. Isn't that frightening, Cheryl? Julie, do you love me? What was Bobby Sherman on? He was on Here Comes the Brides, right? I can't say I ever saw it, but I think I probably saw a few minutes of it back in the day. But he had quite a successful career. And even though he became a paramedic fairly early on and would get a rank and end up teaching in Los Angeles, He would periodically do, obviously a reunion tour with other oldies artists. The band was already there, and he just had to come out and sing his 4 or 5 hits. And in 1986, he was on the show. So he didn't totally leave. But now, he just hit 70 something. Bobby Sherman. I can't remember his exact age. I don't recall, but he had a birthday just last week, right? And Johnny Ginsing is here. Ginseng. Hello, sir. Hi, Johnny. Where are you from? I know we've seen you before, but it's very hard to remember where people live. Like, I know certain people because it's ingrained in my memory banks. Others, I have to access another file, and usually I forgot the password. Everybody forgets their password sometimes, right? Some people make every password the same, and that's not necessarily a good idea, Richard Lyon. Wouldn't you agree? Jinzo. Richard Lyon from West Palm Beach. And here's Alexa. You talk to her all the time. Judy Wright, not Betty Wright, the cleanup woman. Hello. Bobby Sherman was super dreamy, huh? That goes. That's where you fit into the teen idol thing right there, Bobby Sherman. So did you also transition into David Cassidy and maybe even eventually Donny Osmond? Marlene, hello, Jack from South Carolina by way of California. Right. You have my brother's name. Is that Jack or John? Michael is in Southwest Missouri and met Bobby Sherman. He lived up the street from me in California, huh? Is that what you're saying? That guy 6, Jack, it's clear as day. J.D. Vance was a mistake. I can't disagree with you. What's the latest thing? I know that CNN showed up. Well, I like Gary Tuckman, the reporter. I don't know how he is these days, but he was a very fair, very good investigative journalist. But in this current environment, people surprise me. They surprise me. They do. Brenda Noyce, and then right under her, I mean, in terms of the list, is Brenda Sage. Happy Saturday, all. Welcome, Brenda. I forget where you're from, too, Miss Sage. Joey Bauer Jr., hello. Welcome. You were with us last Saturday night. I remember that. Sharon Rhodes, I remember you. Hello, Jack. Vito, my hair guy. Hair by Vito Yazzo. Check out Vito's channel right here at YouTube. Oh, he does some great songs. Some of them Elvis covers and some of them not. He spans the gamut, and he is the owner of Classy Cuts, a hair salon in Middletown on Dolson Avenue. So I see him about every 3 months or so, because I like to keep it long. Hey, buddy, how are you, Vito? I enjoyed very much your Facebook tape of you singing that Eagles song and your daughters just start coming in talking, and you say, shut up. And then you just keep singing the Eagles song. And then your wife comes in and she's going back and forth behind you like this. And it was very nice. I thought that was great. Very good. And Darlene Koberstein, hi, Jack, and all. Welcome to you. Donnie, no. David Cassidy, dreamy. No, Donnie. You didn't have the Donnie pillowcase? He was a teen idol for a long time, and he's Mr. Las Vegas these days. I have to say, the chap still looks good. And he plays I don't know, over 30 weeks a year in Vegas, it seems, and then does concerts in other places. He's done game shows. He's done everything. And for 11 years, it was him and Marie in Las Vegas, I don't think his theater is too large. A lot of the acts that are, like Wayne Newton, when he plays Las Vegas now, it looks practically, it looks like the Elks Club out there. It's not too big. Cindy in South Louisiana is here as well. And that all leads to about 69 people that I know of right now, and 20 people have hit the like button. Yes, please hit the subscribe and the like button and the notification bell. So I think most of you here have that notification bell on. My sister loved Bobby Sherman back in the day, says June Joyner. Hi, June. He was okay, but I was always a huge Elvis fan. I do see Bobby Sherman on Facebook from time to time. Oh, I have to check that out. I never thought to look. He became, well, he was more of a paramedic that had a police badge, I think. But you're right. He definitely had peace officer status. Police officer status, I don't know. I think he was, he was definitely started out actually responding to ambulance calls, and then eventually become the boss, and would teach. He would teach classes on the various things you need to know to become a paramedic. So he became a certified instructor. Kim Lackey, hi. Kim Lackey is here. According to Sir Bobby Sherman, according to Surrey. Okay, I thought all of a sudden Bobby had become British and was knighted. According to Surrey, you mean it's not just Alexa people talk to? Okay, I remember Surrey. Bobby Sherman is 81 years old. I think he just turned 81. Yeah. David Dreamy, huh? Julie. I see. And who else are we going to have in the mix out there? Some of the more obscure people. How about Leif Garrett? He was big for a few years. He was. I saw him when I was in Hollywood, coming out of a theater with his very attractive girlfriend. That was the same time I saw the guy who played Willard in the original movie, Bruce Davidson. They went to the same gathering. I just never knew what it was. But Leif got into a very expensive car. I remember that, and drove off. Eventually, he had a car crash and killed his best friend, not the girl that was with him. But did he kill him? No, he paralyzed him. And his first visit to the hospital room to see his friend was very emotional for Leif, and of course for the friend that he paralyzed. I think he had a little alcohol in him, I think that's how I remember it. Bob Joyce will replace J.D. Vance. That's my prediction. I don't believe that you believe that guy. I think you're either daft or you're just kidding. Well, Richard Lyon is the grand patriarch for a reason, folks. Well, many reasons. He hit the thanks button, and I thank you so much for hitting the thanks button, Richard Lyon. I wasn't going to talk funds, and here comes Shell with her first donation. My goodness, she really wants to be the grand matriarch. I think she's in the running, She wants to be. I can tell. Please pray for Trump's safety. Absolutely, because he's going to go back and do an outdoor rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. So thank you for hitting the thanks button. When you hit it, it'll ask for a credit card, $2, $5, $10, $15, whatever you feel led to give, being part of our family here. I always appreciate that. I like, especially when it's people that haven't given before, but I so appreciate people like Patrick Files that gave in our pre-recorded video as we talk about Pastor Bob Joyce. The proof is in his skin. That's doing very well. It's rising up the charts, not with a bullet, but it's doing well. So please check that out. So thank you, Richard Lyon, for that. That goes into my monthly total that I will see the reward of in the third week, like in September. We've already got August sewn up. It was a pretty successful month. Helps me tremendously as I try to stay afloat. I'm trying to stay afloat, and that helps me. So thank you, Shelley from Canada, for $5 a donation. Thank you so much. And Richard Lyon, $10. Susan Carter, thank you. She did. There's two ways to give. There's also Cash App. Those of you that have Cash App, That's another way to send me a tip. You like the content, you like the family here, you like this, that, the other certain videos. Cash App, my handle is Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. And Susan Carter has donated several times now to Cash App. And I always mention all the people that have done that in every live show because I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Shell. Thank you, Richard. So with Cash App, I get more of it. And you can use Cash App to send money to your other friends, to your children. Hey, Dad, hit me up on the Cash App. Huh? That kind of thing. And you just have to link your checking account to that. I've never had a problem. I've had Cash App for a number of years, and I use it. And you get a record of all that, of everything you either receive or you send out. I'm not saying it's tax deductible. I'm not saying that, but I don't know. I don't know. It's obviously I am not I'm not really a business and I'm not an organization. You know what I mean? org.org. I'm not that. I'm basically a 1099 employee for Google. That's what I am. So Google pays me and they don't take out tax. And then when I go see my tax lady in February of every year, I hand her all the paperwork and she figures out the tax that I owe. Bro and sis bro. So that's very nice. Thank you very, very much. Oh my goodness. And here comes John Jeffries. Haven't even seen him. $9.99. John is a repeat giver, as is Richard Lyon, the Grand Patriarch. And I can't thank you enough, John. I hate having to mention all this stuff, and I don't want it to make up too much of our time. I know people are looking for the content, and I've already gone 20 minutes saying hello to everybody, but I want to do that. And I will put a note in the replay, because as soon as we complete this broadcast, it'll be available in the live section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. I will put a note in when I actually begin the content. We have another view. We have another view from someone who went to Household of Faith and are planning on going back. They actually live in Arkansas, this one, but they're ways up the road, you know. And then we're going to show you some possible pictures, more current pictures of John Kennedy Jr. This is by your request and by of CAROLYN, but I'm not giving them an endorsement. I'm presenting them to you. You decide, okay? I'll tell you the one of CAROLYN is pretty good. I'll tell you that much. Pretty good. But everybody's got a double, and then there's aging photography, there's Photoshop, all the stuff I know really very little about John Jeffries, but I do know that you're blessing me, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you, John Jeffries, Richard Lyon, and Shell. She's a mere shell of her former self, but she's still stupendous. And I thank everybody here for viewing. I thank you for hitting the subscribe and like button. Richard Lyon is probably had another difficult week in the heat, right? We're going to get a break next week, I'm told. We had some warm days this week. You know, I don't know. Did we get up to 90? Probably, but close to it if we didn't. Hi, Jody Smith. What's going on with you? Bob Joyce is, and the truth will come. I don't know what to think anymore, Jody. I don't know. I'm pretty sure now that he wants to die standing up preaching in the pulpit. So he will do it until he can no longer do it anymore. He will die Bob Joyce. That I'm sure of. But what he will say and when he will say it, as I said, if there was something to say, because I only speak of possibilities, I could be wrong about the whole thing. Have I ever said that before, Richard? I forget at my age, you know. Then Jack, don't you have to what? Richard, when you drink tequila and you come on here, it's always hard to understand you. And remember that time you burned a hole in your shirt uh, because you were smoking one of your Havana Cuban cigars, and you got a little tipsy and you burnt a hole in your in your shirt. How you like my new shirt, huh? My new YouTube shirt. It's got everything on it, but it's really upside down on the front. See, motel over here. Where am I? I can't. No, over here. Come on, over here. Hi. Now on the other side of the shirt, on the other side, everything is right side up. Here it's a mix. It's headlines. It's everything from Route 66 to motels. I love motels. And at some point I'll get up and I guess I'll try to show you the back of the shirt, okay? But I picked that up in Monticello the other day. In Monticello at a very nice price at, yeah, you guessed it, the big W. No high-end stuff for me. I want to stress that. Went to McDonald's today. That was dinner. We never do that. But we did today. And I've got the cup to prove it. Mostly it's Gatorade Zero in there now. Thank you again, Shell. She does want to be the grand matriarch. I can tell. Jesus loves you all. He does. He does. He has a kind of love that, well, it's just amazing. I would have given up on me a long time ago. I would have given up on me. Jack saying that you don't have to DAA. DAA. What is that, Richard? Why do I think that donkey is in there? I do have to thank people, that's for sure, because I am extremely grateful. This is a month-to-month thing, but I don't want this to become too much of the content. But I definitely want to thank people, and they are blessing me tonight. They are blessing me tonight. Another $2 from Shell. Hi, Nancy DeMarco. I didn't know you were here. $20 on the thanks button with a very nice picture of you. Thank you very much, Nancy. I appreciate that. It takes the stress off when I know I'm going to be all right for the month, Belinda Lemon, 999. $9.99. Well, thank you, Belinda. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, forget it, Richard, because you obviously have had one too many, but I do thank you for your donation. I guess I can't get your abbreviations. Sharon Rhodes, I was going to tell you I like the shirt. Well, thank you. I kind of liked it when I saw it. And, when I see them, I'm thinking YouTube shirt. As I approach, I'm thinking that. And then I'm thinking, will they have my size? Men's small. I either take a men's small or a 3X. I can't remember which. I could fit into a 2X, but I like the room of a 3X. Free parking, see? Trees and all kinds of things. I think I'll wear this to the Jimmy Stair concert on the, it's coming up soon in the Florida Fun Fest. Well, I'm running out. I mean, TV has a ferocious appetite. I never had to dress up for radio much, but I try to, I'm always on the lookout. And if it's a reasonable price, I feel I owe that to my audience, to get something that's different. Yeah. So thank you very much, Nancy DeMarco and Belinda as well. We're going to do content at the bottom of the hour. So 30 minutes in, I'll read you that thing from another person who has been to Household of Faith just last Sunday. Long as your shirt isn't skin tight, I will go blind. Well, we wouldn't want that to happen, Richard. But you know what you were told when you were younger about what could cause you to go blind, and that didn't turn out to be true, Richard. Code code. Jody, what am I saying? We speak of possibilities. What do you make of the supposed grandson Chewy? Yeah, this guy was talking about Chewy, 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 and I thought they meant the people who deliver the pet food to your door. I took a look at him. He kind of looks like Elvis. I haven't done much more of a search than that. I think, there's a conceivable fair amount of love children out there, both male and female. I know about the woman who wrote the book. Got to look into that a little bit more, I suppose. She kind of looks like Elvis. And in a minute, I'll talk about Paducah, Kentucky. But we do have a few new people here. We have 83 watching now, and I'm going to do that content from Household of Faith in just a couple of minutes. Kathleen Caselli. Kathleen Caselli is here. Just love listening to you. XX. Well, to you, Kathleen, and everybody else. Not you, Richard. Not you, Richard. Not you, Ted, either. Bro hug. We'll do a bro hug or fist bump. Fist bump. I thought it was Tanya Tucker was joining us, but no, it's Trisha Tucker. Where are you guys from, by the way? Kathleen and Trisha. Yeah, Bobby Sherman is 81. And Brenda Sage says, Gatorade and McDonald's, you are killing yourself, Jack, with all that poison. Oh, you're one of those, huh, Brenda? You never cheat and have something you're not supposed to? Believe me, I don't have McDonald's very often. The Gatorade is the zero, but originally it was the High C orange drink from McDonald's, which is very tasty. But I'll never be perfect with my diet. I live in the land of New York pizza and New York deli, but I do try to, I start my day with a protein shake, 30 grams of protein or what have you. But I don't know. Are you vegan, for example? That's beyond my scope. That's beyond my scope. Doing better is always my goal, not to be making any promises that I'll never have another jelly donut. I can't do that. I know me. I've seen me do it. I've seen me do it. Faye Ray Rains. Hello, everyone from Maryland, the great state of Maryland. Welcome. It is going by fast tonight. And I wonder if it's even true that Chewy went upstairs. Is there proof he went up there? Yeah, I heard that was the other thing they said, right? That he was the one who went upstairs. I don't know, I don't know if I'm, mesmerized by Chewy, I miss the delis of Southern Connecticut, right, Ted? Yeah. Connecticut, of course, has all the good stuff, too. Richard Lyons says, Jack, I am from New York. How the hell can you not understand me? Well, remember, I left the city at 3 years old. You stayed there and, had to run from gangs who wanted to steal your lunch money. The Hudson Valley is not really country, Crohonson is country. This is my wife and my sister all in one. It's a twofer package. I don't know. Oh, no, they used to say that about Walden, New York a lot. There was a morning man on WPDH out of Poughkeepsie who would do all these Walden jokes and get them all mad. In Walden, a family reunion is a dating opportunity. That's what he would say. The Wolf, he called himself, the Wolf. Judy Wright, $9.99. My goodness. Thank you so much. I don't know if I have you down. I think I do. But I got to get to content. But I want to thank you, Judy, so much. Thank you, John Jeffries. Thank you, John Jeffries. John is a loyal person. Thank you so much for hitting the thanks button, the tip button. I appreciate that very much. Carl Perkins died from complications of several minor strokes in 1998. Well, I keep my blood pressure well in hand, and the Camzyos that I take for my cardiomyopathy seems to be doing a really good job. My A1C was a little high last time. Yeah, I do have to stay away from the sugar. Marty Greco is talking about Linda Thompson, the last girlfriend of Elvis Presley, one of many. Some people don't want to hear that. Some people think he was a choir boy, but in the early years, he certainly was not. Neo is here, hungry like the wolf, huh? Yeah, there's the throwaway song. I guess some people, I was never into Duran Duran, but believe me, they're better than Nickelback. Oh, jeez. Once you get to that level, you've totally lost me. I just tuned out in the 90s. Um, so, hi, Marty Greco. I'm glad you're here. And so I like a lot of jelly donuts. Well, that will kill you. Kathleen says Australia doesn't sell jelly donuts. I'm worried because during COVID, they became a little maniacal, that government, didn't they? I remember hearing things about that, and New Zealand, I think. We'll have to ask Carmen Sylvia. Joey Bauer says smash that button, folks, and make sure you subscribe and share the videos far and wide. Yeah, you can't really share a live show. It's too long, but you could share the latest one on Bob Joyce. The proof is in the skin. You could share that video on your Facebook or other places. You could. I would appreciate if you would. So thank you, everybody. I'm blown away. Very, very nice. Hi, Faith. You're here. If we have faith, we're going to probably find hope and charity before we're done tonight. So welcome, Faith. And thank you again, Judy Wright and Richard and John Jeffries and Belinda and Shelley and Nancy DeMarco. All wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So let me now leave the screen where I won't see this. There's Faith Lloyd. Passed her at 100 miles an hour, and now I've lost her again. Downtown William Brown from Nacogdoches, Texas here. Not Nicaragua. Not Nicaragua to Texas, no. Where was my son the other day? Some strange names. Well, I know he was near Dripping Springs, Texas. I think he may have made a delivery in Dripping Springs, Texas. Faith Lloyd said, I was going to tip you, Jack, but there isn't a tip button on here. Somebody else help her out, because if people are hitting the thanks button, one thing you can do is you can go to another video like the Gene Ho interview, and there's a thanks button there. That's what it says, thanks. But if you have Cash App, you can go to Media Guy 56. Media Guy 56 is my handle. If you have Cash App, you know how to do it, and you already have your checking account linked to it. And by the way, when someone does that for the first time, joins Cash App, which you can use to send money to other people, or they can send you money as well, I get $5 extra for inviting a new friend onto Cash App. So that's Media Guy 56. And the thanks button should be here, because it sure seems like it is. It's a button. It's the $sign button, the $sign button. Debbie Pop, good evening, Jack. Well, hi, Debbie. I'm glad you popped in. Would you like a Pop-Tart? Don't tell me you want it with icing. That's disgusting. See, if you leave off the icing, a Pop-Tart is pretty much a health food. In certain cases, milk is a no-no to certain conditions because of the sugar milk has, especially if your cow likes Snickers bars. Did you ever think of that? Yeah. Jimmy Samples was part of West Virginia. What part of West Virginia are you from? I live in Cabell County, next to Huntington. Hello, Jimmy Samples, not Junior Samples of Hee Haw. Why is my phone blowing up? Sometimes I keep it up to, just in case. And downtown William Brown. Well, I guess it's a good thing that I kept the phone up. He used Cash App. Thank you, William Brown. I really appreciate that. William Brown sent you $10. Further action is required to accept this cash. Yes, what they do is they put it there until you transfer it to your personal checking account. So you and Susan Carter have used the Cash App, and I appreciate that more than you could know. More than you could know. The truth is, I do get more of your tip when you use Cash App. Media Guy 56, but that's enough of that. I'm here to do content, but from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. I thank you. I'm not discouraging you to keep doing it. I'm just saying I want to bring you some content. So Jimmy Samples is from Philippi, right? That's what I want to say, West Virginia, and you said that before. Hello, Sandra Warren, not Leslie Ann Warren. You knew I was going to say that. Craig Oliver, good evening, Jack and all friends. Welcome to you. Jack, what's up with the dang commercials? They keep blocking you out. I'm surprised they do that live. They usually do that in the in the replay. So I don't see them. So, I they know that would totally distract me. Every once in a while somebody says that. So I don't know. It surprises me that they do them live, but I am an employee of Google/YouTube, and they can do that. They can do that. Now, when you watch the replay, if you watch some of the commercial, or sometimes you have to, most of the time you don't, after a certain time, I think that helps me too. It does help me if you watch the commercial. If you watch the commercial, at least the first one, you know what I mean? So there you go. Here's Carmen Sylvia from New Zealand. Welcome. I had a 15-second commercial about 20 minutes ago, followed by a short one. Huh. Yeah. Sometimes you can hit the skip and sometimes you can after a certain time. Commercials are good for your site. Absolutely, Shell. I totally agree with that. And here's the funny thing before I get to content. They put in the commercials that they think are right for you. Now, I have gotten Christian commercials, but I'm watching my video. I think you'll find it in the latest video that I did. I released it. I did it this morning, and then I released it this morning. Bob Joyce, the proof is in the skin. I'm watching that, and here comes this pretty lady on there, and she is telling you in no uncertain terms. This goes on for like 30 seconds of how she had the best love-making time in her life with this product and her man, and oh my goodness. Now, she doesn't use foul language or anything, but I have never quite seen. I thought, well, they said, put that on Willard's channel. Put that on Willard's channel. We figured that guy out. You know what I'm saying? We figured that guy out. He's a flawed sinner, all right. He is. So put it on his channel. That's on the, you'll find it if you look on the latest video, and everybody will say, I don't want to find it. No commercials here. Isn't that weird, Kathleen? Isn't that weird? Now, you don't have, you didn't buy YouTube Premium, did you? If you buy YouTube Premium, you don't get commercials ever. I don't know that helps me when people get no commercials ever. Woodsley Summercraft, also known as Rob, is here. I pay for YouTube Premium. Oh, we're having a in sync moment here, Cindy. I pay for YouTube Premium, and I love not having commercial interruptions. Much more pleasant. Yes. I just had my second commercial. Wow. That's not as much fun as a second vodka sour, I bet. So I'm going to the screen now. I'll try to catch up here. It could be hard because we've got 114 watching right now, Richard. You didn't even tell me about that, Richard. You are the Grand Patriarch. You're supposed to remind me of stuff like that. Now, where am I going to? I'm going to this one. Okay. Heard from a young lady who was she lives in Arkansas. She was just at Pastor Bob's church last Sunday and is going back. She's going back. I tell you, they got to build inside of that horse stable. You got to have it ready by Christmas. You just got to. And there's plenty of people that can do that. And I know there's people watching me right now that have skills and would like to go down to Arkansas and help, become a volunteer, what have you. You know, you've already made your fortune in life and you'd like to go down to Bob's church and help them get that sanctuary ready in time for Christmas. They're talking like 500 seats. That seems ambitious, but that's also going to mean they need a fellowship hall outside of that in a prefab building, or bring in a double wide trailer or something. I don't know what you would do in a case like that, but it can be done. And, we all know that there are various sects, not all of them Christian sects, that can put something up. They can put up some of these like family dollars. They go up so fast, I can't believe it. So this young lady said that she went last Sunday. She says, I've recently found you and have been watching you on YouTube. I'm convinced that Bob used to be the king of rock and roll. Some people feel that way. I live in where she talks about where she lives in Texas, which is about 2.5 hours from Benton. I attended on the 28th of July. The service was absolutely amazing. Given the way that the king of rock and roll was raised, it's really no surprise to me that Bob Joyce's church is so spirit-filled. Within 5 minutes of Bob beginning to preach, you no longer see anyone but Pastor Bob Joyce. The man is amazing and incredibly anointed. Never had a bad report from Household of Faith. I am going back. It is true that people do not say the E word, although there is play. Before the service began, I saw one of the regular local members up front twisting one leg and hip in a very Elvis-like way. Well, we'll have the elders put him in his place, I'll tell you what, or one of those other guys that are there. I'm with you concerning the photos and autographs. Well, I'll clarify what I said, because I don't know what you're saying. What kind of country preacher would do such a thing? There is no way that Bob doesn't know what we think and what we feel we know. I'm fine with him having those pictures and his CDs. Many churches have, a shop where you can buy CDs and even crosses and what have you. And the churches need to fund their mission. They may, speaking of missionaries, the church may have missionaries that they fund, etc., etc. So he knows that people are going to want to speak to him. It's another opportunity for the Holy Spirit to use Pastor Bob if someone is hurting and needs a word of encouragement. Obviously, there's people on a line, so you have to keep it moving. But it's important to people to meet the pastor. I understand that, but the reason you go to church is to worship the Lord Jesus Christ and hear His word. Another thing, there are 3 to 4 men who never let Bob out of their sight. Are these men handlers? Handlers. There's a new word. Personal security bodyguards? Who knows? The only thing I wonder is, how can a man that could be, we speak of possibilities, almost be 90 years old, be so mobile? I won't address his looks, but they are definitive. Some people just age really well. I feel that although he is up in years, you can easily tell that he was once very handsome in his youth. Although he does ambulate incredibly well for someone of that age, the age she feels he is, I And she does attach some photos, but I'm not going to show photos of her unless I'm absolutely sure that she wants that. I already used one of her photos, but it wasn't of her. I also enlarged the picture, so thank you for doing that. I thank people that write in big print, and I love the photos. I love having the photos. Sometimes you'll send me the photos and say, don't use any of them, and that's fine too. Don't use my story in any way, and that's fine too. It still gives me a sense of what's going on in the household of faith till I make a visit myself. I believe if you're respectful to him, there won't be an issue. I spoke to him for about 5 minutes after I asked him if I could give him a hug. And she's short, as my head was on his right shoulder, I quietly said with a choked up voice, "You seem happy now. I'm glad you are truly, finally at peace." That was her way of sneaking in a little hidden message. He didn't seem annoyed or anything like that. I spoke from my heart. Bob looked me dead in the eye. Everybody says that. Dead in the eye, and said, "Thank you. God bless you." So there you go. And she said, "God bless you, Jack. I hope you write back," which I did. I did. So there's another encounter from Household of Faith. Still coming up, some pictures of JFK Jr. and CAROLYN when they were older. That's coming up. And I might do a rant. It'll only be a short rant, but it'll be a political rant. And you can just talk amongst yourselves if you're not interested in what's going on in these times. Um, a rant for me is not getting mean. It's just being kind of blunt, because we have the most important election of our lives coming up on November the 5th. All right. All right. Now I'm back in the live stream where I can see, and we welcome Cheryl Everhart. Hi, Jack and family. Welcome to you, Cheryl. Jeanette Fair joins us. So glad to have you. Andra is here as well. Johnny is saying he's from Pittsburgh. I just, was there very briefly on a Greyhound bus on my way to Los Angeles. 3 days on a bus, looking for some place where I could freshen up and wash my greasy hair, because I have the kind of hair that really needs to be washed every day. Here's Sylvia Argenzanio. See, I can always mispronounce a name. Argenziano Craig. If he's not Elvis, then he's Elvis's son. Well, I have a video on that, but a lot of people poo-poo it. They say that how could he have the same veins and scars? And we talk about, now we talk about, what do we talk about? Well, I know I talk about the indentation on his right arm, very similar to what Elvis Presley does. And we have a video up that we just put up. The proof is in the skin. We talk about his skin looks older than that of a 72-year-old man. Why did we come up with the age 72? Because Robert Wayne Joyce, who married Willena Hattie in 1975, his age, given at that time, would line up with him being about 72 years old right now. So we have plenty of videos up here. The verdict continues to be, I think we're up now to 175,000 views on the verdict. Oh, how I wish that had been monetized from the first 1,000, but it wasn't till we were well past 50,000, I think. But that continues to be the most successful video I've ever done. Well, if Bob isn't Elvis and Robert is his son, oh, we can think of the various angles, right? Yeah, we can think of the various angles. So you're saying, think about what you're saying. You're saying that first Willena married her former boyfriend's son, from Germany. We think Willena was in Germany. Please feel free to give me absolutely proof we're wrong about this. You think he first married her former boyfriend's son, then at some point they did a switcheroo. I guess she would have had to divorce said son and marry the German boyfriend. You find me a story that's got this many twists and turns. Kurt Russell is itching to play this role. Now he's 73 and we got to get this done. So think about Kurt Russell, will you? I mean, he's doing a lot of work, right? He's got a new movie coming out. I was just reading about it and I forget what the role he plays. I hadn't realized that Kurt Russell had played in so many westerns, but he's also done um, a lot of action films and what have you. Escape from New York, Escape from L.A., and some really good dramatic roles. He's a fine actor who's played in the original 1979 biopic. He played Elvis Presley. He can sing just like Elvis, very close. And he was in, what was it? Welcome to the World's Fair, his movie debut that starred Elvis Presley. And in the movie, I think the character is Johnny that Elvis is playing. He pays this little boy to come up in front of the girlfriend that he wants to woo and kick him in the shins. He pays him to do it. That was Kurt Russell that did that. And, he wants to get the girl's attention. So, and then then there's 3,000 miles. What is it? 3,000, 2,000 miles. How many thousand miles to Graceland? Kurt Russell plays an Elvis-like character in that. And in the closing credit, he sings just like Elvis Presley. So there's another one you want to check out. And then there's, of course, one more thing. He supplies the voice in Forrest Gump for Elvis Presley, not the actor who's got his back to camera, as Forrest Gump teaches Elvis how to do those moves. He's wearing the leg braces at the time. That's Kurt Russell's voice in Forrest Gump playing Elvis Presley. Amazing, Melissa VD. This whole story is just it's there's nothing like it, which is astonishing to me. You know what I'm going to say next. 3,000 miles, huh, John Jeffries? Okay. I was never good at math. I'm here. Hello, everyone. Hi, Melissa VD. In short for my name. V is short for my name. I gotcha. That's right. We know you're disease free. We know that you had a full checkup. Melissa's always a beautiful name. Sweet Melissa. Yeah. The pastor will announce his true name this November on election night. Well, even if he were to ever announce that he used to be somebody else, he'd still be Bob Joyce. But where do you get that guy? You don't bring me flowers. You don't sing me love songs, but I understand that part. But you don't ever shoot me an email with your inside information, Jack the Fair Guy, F-A-I-R, Jack the Fair Guy at gmail.com. Gene Ho, you don't know about him, Kathleen? I have an interview up with him. He's the editor-in-chief of George Magazine, which is the 2022 reboot of the magazine that John F. Kennedy Jr., who I'm going to be showing you some pictures for your consideration only in just a couple of minutes. Stand by. Don't miss that. Don't miss that. And if you're watching the replay and you need to stop, just pause it and come back another time. Hit the subscribe and the like button, the notification bell, and there should be a thanks button right there in your video as well that you can hit if you so wish to. But Gene Ho was President Trump's campaign photographer in 2015 and into 2016. He wrote a book on President Trump. And next weekend is the big weekend in Hot Springs, Arkansas. George Magazine Live is putting it on. Saturday is a paid event. See, when I talk 150 miles an hour, eventually that's going to happen. But I'm working hard for you. I'm working hard. I swear I am. So I interview him. He talks about being born in Brooklyn, moving to Long Island, and then he talks about how he became a very established wedding photographer, etc. Then we talk in the second part all about um, the big event coming to Hot Springs. Saturday is a paid event. On Sunday, Pastor Bob Joyce will bring his service to the Horner Hall Theater in Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's all free. It'll be followed by a baptism. Scheduled baptisms already been scheduled. You can always call Household of Faith, but I imagine they got a slew already. The only reason to be baptized, this is a sign of obedience in Jesus Christ. It's a Jesus only thing. That's why you would do something like that. So he goes to Hot Springs, and by this time he's affiliated with George Magazine, and they say there's this pastor. He had never met him, did not know about him. I didn't know about him till 2018. There's this pastor in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Gene was pretty frank about this. A lot of people say he's Elvis Presley. That's what Gene says in the interview. And, go on over there and check it out. This could make a wonderful story for George Magazine. So he did his due diligence. He went over and he attended the service by himself. He loved it. He met the pastor. Next time he brings his family back. Before you know it, even though they're like 40 minutes away or something like that, he goes there every Sunday. His son plays in the praise band. And that was the start of something big. In the George Magazine August edition, Gene Ho interviews Pastor Bob right there in the sanctuary. It's also on video as well. You can see it. So for more information on all that, go to georgemagazine.com, georgemagazine.com, or georgemagazinelive.com and find out about the Saturday event with a plethora of speakers and music. It's going to be a long day there at the Hot Springs Convention Center. The main hotel is booked. The VIP thing is booked. The VIP dinner on Friday night. The after party all sold out, but there's still, many opportunities. There's a number of hotels in Hot Springs. I don't think you'll have a problem at all. So you'll be able to get a deal. I use Priceline. Some people use something different. Debbie says, I really enjoyed your interview with Gene Ho. Well, thank you, Debbie. I love his voice. He always sounds so happy. I do hope they record the event. I understand what you mean. I feel the same way, even if there was a price to see it, And Kathleen says, commercials are here. Marlene in big print. Is this the second Marlene? Bob Joyce does everything like Elvis. It would be so amazing if he was him. When he sings, it hits hard on your soul. Yes. Wish I could be attending, says Melissa, the George event. Who all here is going? I look forward to hearing from all of you about it. I've been trying to snag a couple of people to do videos while they're down there and then send them to my email, attach them to my email. And whether they're just a couple minutes or a little longer, try to do a nice one, keep it in frame and all that. And we'll show them right here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. Got knocked off by a Dem commercial. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Happy birthday, Vicky. Is it really her birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vicky. Happy birthday to you. And many, many more. Going to bed. Good night, Jack. Good night, everyone. I'm glad you stopped by, Sharon Rose. And please do again. Jody Smith says, I believe Gene Ho knows the truth that everyone has been called crazy for so many years. It's just Gene Ho is beyond respectful, of course. And you spelled his name like the gardening tool. Just H-O is good. But yeah, he has a farm, so he does his share of hoeing. And he has a lot of chickens, but he has a very nice, well, he seems like he'd be a nice chap, a very nice, is it a pony or a donkey? Why am I drawing? I'm not sure. It's a donkey, right? And apparently, there was a certain pastor who visited the farm and reached out to pet said donkey, and he bit him. So when I was watching, first time I ever watched a Gene Ho video, because you can link to that on George Magazine. I think there might be a small fee to watch his podcast or whatever on a regular basis, however it goes. But he was showing us around with his wife, and he said to the donkey, "Don't buy Elvis. Don't buy Elvis." And his wife didn't like that joke. She says she doesn't like me to say that. A quote from Gene on TikTok was, if I told you John F. Kennedy Jr. was alive, would you believe me? If I told you Elvis Presley was alive, would you believe me? That's from Gene, not me. He was wonderful and gracious during the interview. And then if you go to George Magazine and you check out or you can just write in Jack Willard on the Bob Joyce phenomenon. That should be enough in the search bar at YouTube, and you'll see the interview in reverse. Gene Ho is interviewing me. So they're both available for your consideration. Sylvia, my birthday is September 29th. I will be 90. Really? So you're real close in age to what Elvis would be, should he be alive. Well, God bless you. I hope you live Dick Van Dyke lifespan. I do. And in health, I don't know how your health is. Bob Joyce will baptize the country in November. You are a wild man, that guy. I see. If we're right about his age, I don't think he's ready for that kind of a schedule. I mean, Biden's not ready for it at 81, and we'll be saying bye, bye, bye. The only thing we have to find out now. Don't forget, my political rant is coming up a little bit later in the show. You can just, mute the sound or something if you're not into that. It won't be long. I think I'm singing an early Beatles song. It won't be long. Yeah. It won't be long till I return to you. Richard Lyon, your turn now. Sing a verse of a Beatles song. He's talking to Sylvia, not Sylvia's mother, but Sylvia. And let's see, Gail George joins us. Gail George, welcome. You're a star, yeah. I'm a legend in my own mind. Yeah, I was a radio guy, never a radio star back in the day. Beginning in 1977 at WBUZ, the sound of the country. Selena is here, is she? Hello, Selena, if you are here. It's so fast right now, 131. I am blessed. I thank you so much. And once again, I know she wants to be the grand matriarch. Shell gives another $1 on the thanks button, the tip button. Any amount is fine. $2, $1, $5. It all gets thrown into the till for my September, payment that helps me supplement a small retirement, which got smaller because something was renegotiated, So that threw me, and that made Hot Springs really almost impossible, I can't max out my credit cards, I can't do that. Michael Wiggins, how are you? I haven't said much to you, but I am glad you're here. You hear. You do hear, Michael, right? You're not like Huey Lewis having trouble with your hearing, are you? My dad showed me as a kid at Graceland the Elvis misspelled middle name, right? Aaron. He said, now, why wouldn't they fix that with all the money they have? They don't, because they don't want to be accurate. The Lloyds of London, the biggest insurance policy on Elvis Presley, has never been cashed out. Maybe if we do that updated capsule version after Hot Springs, the top 50 reasons, perhaps, um, we'll mention that there. What is a matriarch? I don't know. It's an old-fashioned name. I had a matriarch, a grand matriarch here that was here from Australia. She was a real blessing to me. When you see my little logo or my cartoon face, she did that. Very talented woman, and she gave us the Worldwide Ramblings logo in general. You can find that in our past live shows if you look for it. A matriarch is someone that is just a huge fan of the channel, and it has nothing to do with the tip button or the thanks button, because until recently we didn't even have one. We didn't even have one, but just someone that I don't know. I can count on them to be. They'll tell me that the thanks button, or rather how many people are watching, note that, or please hit the like button, and they 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 kind of try to be respectful in their personal comments and what have you. That's always good. um, Jack, I think the IRS watches this show. Well, I'm not worried, because, as I say, everything that goes into the thanks button goes into my Google account. um, and this is the first year that I had anybody hitting the Cash App button. Media Guy 56 is my handle, Media Guy 56. So we thank Downtown William Brown and Susan Carter for doing that. And that'll all get reported, when I go see, what's her name again? Down there on Dawson. I know, my tax lady. I'll think of it any minute now. And, I'll report every dime, Elvis with daily verses and prayers. That's somebody new. Where are you from? Well, I think you tell me, don't you? Hi, Jack. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle, my belle, from Australia. We get quite a few people. In fact, our past grand matriarch was from Australia. So welcome. You'll see other people here from Australia. And then we have Carmen Sylvia from New Zealand. I say that like it's like 20 minutes away. I'm not good with geography. I have no idea how far away those two places are. Katina Swatsworth joins us. Hello, everyone, and good night. I'll catch the replay, and she will too. She's very loyal with the replay. Thank you, Katina. I appreciate you saying hello. Well, you're a youngin' at 71 there, Gloria. Well, we do have some younger people here. John Jeffries is younger, in his 40s, I think. Stephen Garvis, I forget what your age is, and I'm not saying you ever told me. We have had some people here that are, I think we had Jake Judy is definitely younger. Haven't seen him in a while. Where is Father? Jay Masters from the road. Where are you, Father? On a Saturday night, you're usually not on the road, but you're laid up somewhere with a little bit of adult beverage in a hotel, of course. Not sure if I'm the oldest, 62. I think there are some older. Well, of course, Richard, you're just saying that so everyone say you're young. I myself, of course, am 68 years old. I don't know how this happened, but I'm glad it did. Neo is in his 40s. Yeah, I could have figured that you were in the younger crowd. And 80s are my favorite times, and music too. Well, that probably means you're a little younger than us, aren't you? If 80s is your favorite, although Karen loves the 80s, and she will soon turn on September the 8th. She will turn, I don't think she minds me saying this. Maybe she does. 67 years old. Amazing. Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi, from New Jersey. Hello, Jack. Hello, Marianne. I'm glad you came in. Maybe someday at some Jersey gig, I'll get to see you at a Jimmy Stir event. I know you're not going to come to Florida, New York, next weekend for the Fun Fest. But it is a fun time if the weather's good, if it pours rain, I guess they couldn't have it because it is an outdoor festival. John is 54. Okay, John Jeffries is 54. And Katina is a babe at 52. How's your daughter doing? Is your daughter, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Write it out phonetically for me because I'm a dumb bunny, remember? A dumb bunny. But she's been through a lot. Katina's daughter, we've been praying for her. But it'd be helpful if I knew how to pronounce that first name. It's I've never seen the name before. That just means I haven't been around. On the next Geraldo, I love how you spelled Geraldo. Yes, well, see, you speak his name and he comes into being. The Father is here, has come forth in the fire. That probably means he lit up a Cuban cigar. I don't know. That's what Richard likes to do, Jay. Hi, Jay Masters, the bodybuilder, the trucker from Florida. My son got a job with U.S. Foods. I know you've heard of them, right? They're all over the country, I think. And this is better than, that Family Dollar stuff. He no longer has to deal with, Generation Z that don't want to be doing their job and are very slow, and managers that are very disrespectful. Seems like most of the people he's dealing with in the restaurants that he delivers to, are pretty decent. But it's hard because you're working with a dolly. There's no pallet jack, I don't think. It's a dolly, and they only gave him one. His boss said that you need two, but here's one. So it's good money, too. It's good money working for U.S. Foods. U.S. Foods is a great company. Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. He had to climb through a lot of hoops to get that. And so he's delivering just in Texas right now. Doesn't have to go more than 160 miles out, it seems. But they want him working, a lot of hours. And sometimes when he's done, he has to go help somebody else. He's starting to come up to speed now. But, it's no OTR gig, Jay, where, you get that big belly because you're just driving thousands of miles and you pretty much live in the truck. Well, I guess that's kind of what you do, Jay. The last I remember, you told me something like you have a weekend off or so every 3 weeks, is it? I can't remember, Jay. But I was very happy that he got the U.S. Foods gig. I really was very proud of my son, Corey. I also don't know her weight. See what happens when I come into the middle of a conversation? Hi, Selena M. How are you? I didn't even realize that there is a Leesville. I'm used to only Leesville in LaForche Parish. I love when places have parishes, and there's plenty of parishes in Louisiana. Jimmy Swagger probably lives in a parish, even though he hates the Catholics. Oh, dear. Anastasia is here. Anastasia, she likes it said that way. Hi, Anastasia. I'm in my hotel enjoying a few malt liquors. Huh? Is that like a malt liquor now? Is that a combination strawberry milkshake and beer or something? I don't know. If it tastes like beer, and sometimes even hard cider kind of tastes like beer, right? It's not for me. Give me a vodka sour if you don't mind. I want you to shake it, and make it real frothy for me. What am I saying? U.S. Foods delivers to the school I work at. I am in a middle school. I am a middle school cook. Well, that's cool, Debbie Pop. And what state are you in again? I don't think it's a state of confusion. But see how quick I forget? Wow, it's busy tonight. There's photos of me on the internet, but we won't talk about those photos, Ted. We're not going to be checking out Pornhub. No. There's photos of me on the internet at 250 pounds. I look great. And you can do it again, Jay. You can. You're not an undisciplined man. You got sugar issues and stuff like that, and the strain it puts on your heart. So I know you can do it again. A great thing is those protein shakes is the first thing you're going to drink. Don't be too far away from a bathroom though, because you're going to need one down the road. And also, cup of yogurt and what have you. And then you treat yourself to something you really want to eat. I'm not saying you don't, but I guess the earlier you eat your big meal, the better. So Debbie's in West Virginia. Okay. Yeah. Um, if I missed something provocative that you've said or your greeting, I am sorry. From Buffalo, New York, Marlene. Yes, I've been to Buffalo, New York. I've been to the Aud. I guess I saw the Sabres there. Is the Aud still in existence, or did they build a new place? Because I know Buffalo is very, very enthusiastic about the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Sabres. Would love to have baseball too, I imagine, And at least with hockey, they get to play inside when it gets cold. Oh, those Bills. I tell everyone I'm a beach god at 270 pounds, and I'm currently 300. So get it back down to at least 270, and let's go for maybe 250. I know you're a tall guy. So that's cool, Debbie. Yeah, I'm very happy, and he's not having to deal with all the jive when you deal with the Family Dollar and the Dollar General. He didn't do. Family Dollar, it also owns Dollar Tree, by the way. Some stores have a combo of Family Dollar and Dollar Tree. Is an ongoing lawsuit for deceptive pricing because the prices don't match on the shelf when scanned at the register. Really, I haven't heard about that. I got great deals, and I don't go to Dollar General a lot. I don't, so I shouldn't comment because it's been so long since I've been there. I know I've gotten good deals in there, but I had no objection to Dollar Tree going to $1 a quarter and then having fast food items that can be as much as $5 in the back, because to a lot of people that becomes like almost like their supermarket, poor people especially, and you can't sell something that's decent to eat in the frozen foods for $1 and a quarter. You can sell maybe one breakfast sandwich or something, but so they have a $3 aisle and they have a $5 aisle, but a lot of stuff in there still $1 and a quarter at Dollar Tree. So I don't mind that. So we have two Marlenes. We have Marlene in big print, and we have Marlene Wilson still with us. And she's talking to Marlene. Of course you are. I would do the same thing. So let's show those pics, huh? Just off my cell phone, guy. You need to cut out the booze and the sweet treats. Yeah, I can sympathize with you. When Neil Cavuto almost died of COVID and was actually in the intensive care unit, and they didn't know if he was going to make it at one time, he came back, and he loves to read negative email, well, I see you got out of the hospital and you've lost a ton of weight, but we all know that within a few months, you'll put it all back on plus, all back on plus. Neil has said, I can make excuses about my weight and this happened to me and that happened to me. But he says the real truth is, I love Napoleons. Me too, if they're made right. We have Adams Fairacre Farms here. There's one now in the town of Walkill, and there's one up in Newburgh. So I saw the Napoleons there, and I had haven't had one in a dog's age. So of course I ordered two. Yeah, I got to share with Karen. Did I get 2 or 3? I'm not sure now. Could have been 3. Oh, it was delicious. So delicious. But you feel guilty after you ate it, Selena M. You know what I mean? And that tres leche at Jackie's Latin Kitchen, that milk cake, that tres leche with the whipped cream and cinnamon on the top. Oh, dear. Yeah. Andrew says, Jay, a while ago, someone came that looked to be Bob Joyce, and he said he was baptizing Jay Masters. And then we found out he was baptizing 60 some people. And that's why I asked if you did. That's an interesting comment. Another commercial, Ted Richards. My goodness, they must think this is the place to be. I don't know how many people. I mean, I know Wings of Pegasus has already been on, right? You ever see Wings of Pegasus? What's he got now? He had 388,000 subscribers. This guy never has to worry about, that monthly payment and it being big enough. Of course, he's a lot younger than me, and he has an expensive amount of equipment that I don't have. So, he's got more needs than I do, I suppose. But my needs have increased in terms of things I am responsible to pay out. Born and raised in Rochester, New York. And I'm an Arizonaite right now, or Arizona something. Yes, I was at the auditorium there. The War Memorial in Rochester to see a concert in the 70s. I won't tell you who, but didn't stay overnight, I don't think. And then another time on a Greyhound bus, probably going up to Western New York or something. We stopped at the terminal in Rochester late at night, and it was scary. We got off the bus for a little bit, and I wanted to get right back on. Jody Smith. Maraschino cherries are better than the cherries with the pits. Really? They always seem so fake to me. I like them, but they seem so fake. I let the commercials play for Jack. You're a fine American, Anastasia, even though you're from Afghanistan. I really appreciate that. Rachel, and especially in the replay, do that in the replay. That's a good thing. Watch the commercials. There's some good ones, but that lady talking about, her man was never better. I said, what is this in my show? They said, put that on the Willards video. There's an audience there, but that's silly, because defining who you think I am doesn't mean Carmen Sylvia's like that. No, she's pretty much like an Osmond, for goodness sakes. Here's something serious from Carmen. I almost died of C19. I guess that's COVID-19. I lost a lot of weight, but putting it back on, gosh darn it. Well, I'm glad you, like Neil Cavuto, you survived, and Neil seems to be in good shape. He has MS, though. That's another thing. And he has one of the best toupees in use. He outed himself. I didn't know he wore a wig, because he showed old footage of himself, and that said that's when I couldn't afford such a good toupee. Okay, perfect. You and William Shatner got good rugs. I'll tell you what. And there's a few others out there too. Jay Masters needs to go get baptized. Yeah, you can do that anywhere. It's not the person baptizing you. It's your desire to do it. Marlene with big letters says the word paper. Are we playing rock, paper, scissors? So, all right, those photos, right? Those of you that are serious about this topic, a lot of people wanted me to do JFK Jr., and I can't do it like the people who do it on a regular basis, because they roll in a lot of tech stuff, and I'm not going to steal all their stuff, So it's their topic, but I can do a little here and there, as you send me stuff and I find stuff on my own, Oh, I got to talk about Dexter. Don't let me forget to talk about Dexter. I'm so excited. I'm going to definitely get Showtime. I have no choice. All right. So someone sent me these pictures, JFK when he was young, and they say JFK Jr. today. I have a better phone now, 5G phone, but it's still Android. I might put this in a thumbnail at some point. I'm just looking to try to get the best view of it for you. And I'm not being successful. So maybe I'll put that in a thumbnail real soon, okay? I don't know if I do this, if it'll help. Can't get away from that white out face. There we go. There it is. I don't know. I mean, there are lookalikes. There's aging that can be done, Photoshop, etc. But that's what someone thinks is a more recent picture of John F. K. Jr. because obviously they believe he faked his death. This I thought was very good. Caroline Kennedy, and who they say is an updated picture of Caroline Kennedy. Her young picture is white face there, but the updated picture is clearer. And again, I may put this in the thumbnail at some point, or have Andy roll them in. Didn't have time to do that. You never know when you're live. See, if I did this in a pre-recorded video, there we go, for the updated picture. If I did this in a pre-recorded video and I didn't like the quality, I'd stop tape, but I can't do that live. So don't yell at me. And here's like a montage with that same picture and a picture of who they think is John F. Kennedy Jr.'s with the same look as I showed you before in a crowd. Sorry for the quality. I never know till I go to the live stream how it's going to be. There we go. There we go. So someone sent me those, and I just thought I'd show them to you. Obviously, there are programmers out there that talk about that subject all the time. And so what's your verdict? Oh, Melissa, I'm so excited. I'll get to Dexter just as soon as I just take a quick look at the comments here, because we have Zero. Where is he? Zero the dog. I don't get too many canines here, so I'm very excited. Well, that's a nice photo. Really? Not the way I showed it. But yeah, there'll always be someone, you might as well not even bother doing that kind of stuff. There's always that one person. Jody Smith is commenting. She's talking to Mary. Anastasia is laughing out loud. Yes, Jack, that's them, Shell. Well, of course it would be you, Shell. But then again, you think MJ is alive as well, and Princess Diana. So, there is that, Shell. I think you ought to focus on getting Trump elected. And to do that, you're going to have to cross into Buffalo, okay? He's doing pretty good in Buffalo, so come down a ways. Come down a ways. Maybe go to Syracuse. Vincent. Well, I should have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Starry, starry nights. Saw Don McLean at Orange County Community College in the 70s. He had a great warm-up band. I remember that. Don't ever have a warm-up band that people want an encore from. But when Mr. McLean hit the stage all by himself, just him and his guitar, he was fantastic. Lived in Maine, went through some years when he was, behaving badly and divorce and all that. Oh, dear. But Empty Chairs by Don McLean. Look up that song. It's from the American Pie album. It is. So if I missed something and you think I really should have seen it, you might want to repeat it when I'm not doing a specific thing. Philippi is talking about Vincent Fusca. Is Vincent here? Yeah, I think I remember that name. We'll make a fuss over Fusca. We will, because we're happy that he's here. I love Sally Field and Smokey and the Bandit. So did Burt Reynolds, Jay, very, very much. I think that's when he fell in love with Sally, and they became boyfriend and girlfriend. They were like what does he say? He doesn't say peanut butter and jelly. He says the other thing. Yeah, the other thing. Well, they were like peanut butter and jelly. Let's put it that way. But as time would go on, I mean, Burt Reynolds at this point was peaking as a huge sex symbol, and he was a man, who had only limited self-control. And so he would eventually lose Sally. And so there he was with Barbara Walters being interviewed, and Barbara can make anybody cry. She could have made the Pope cry, you know what I'm saying? And so she assumes that the love of Burt Reynolds' life was Dinah Shore, who was like a mentor to him and everything else. And they dated and lived together, I think, for quite a while. Beautiful woman, but she was considerably older than him. And he says, oh, well, she was just wonderful. She did so much for my life. But no, she wasn't the love of my life. And he was tearing up at that point, And she says, really? Well, who was the love of your life? I tear up just thinking about it because I remember Burt Reynolds, and I love Burt so much, He said it was Sally. It was always Sally, but I lost her, and I deserve to. Burt Reynolds. So, yeah, you made me think of that story, Jay Masters. So how are you, Zero the dog? Where are you watching from? Nancy is still here, and I'm so glad of it. And thank you, Nancy, for hitting the thanks button. It was just interesting. He said he was baptizing, and he had 69 plus baptisms for real that week. Huh. Interesting. So Richard Lyon is now referring to the man, and he is starting to interest me, Richard, this gentleman that people think is Pastor Bob Joyce in disguise, a.k.a. they think Elvis Presley. And so I have noticed this guy in several rallies, including one. Did I see him in Butler, PA? I saw him one. I think he was in Atlanta, not Atlanta. Oh, somewhere else. Was he? He was in Atlanta today. Trump, was he? Because if Kamala goes there, he's got to come. He's going to be coming real soon to wherever she goes. And we're going to do 3 minutes of politics and maybe a little ranting, but not yet, because a lot of people don't come for that. But what was I saying? Oh, I have to talk about Dexter because Melissa wants to speak about it. Filming as we speak. Well, maybe not as we speak, but filming this week and filming as fast as they can is Dexter First Blood. It's a prequel. And the executive producer is Michael C. Hall. And this story gets even more exciting. So don't tune out, Melissa. We're going to show the early years of Dexter and how his father teaches him the code. Because the reason people could embrace a serial killer on a level they have never embraced a serial killer in the history of cinema is because the code is that Dexter only kills the baddies. You don't kill good people. The only time someone good was killed that I remember of in Dexter is when Deb had to make a choice between killing Dexter or killing the police captain that was going to arrest them both. Not that hard of a choice, really, when you think about it, because Deb would have been just as much trouble, and she hadn't killed anybody at that point, I don't think. Well, maybe one. But anyway, so this is going to be all that. And who's playing the father? Who's playing Harry? The original actor, I think, passed away. He wasn't in Dexter New Blood, which was the 8th season on Showtime. But Christian Slater is playing Harry this time. I love Christian Slater. And then they said, well, we're getting so many people saying, but we want Michael too. We want Michael too. And so he is going to, as he has always done, he is going to narrate Dexter. It gets better. He is going to narrate Dexter First Blood. He's going to narrate it, be the executive producer. Christian Slater is going to play the father. Going to have a lot of people in there that you might recognize, but of course it's young characters on this one for the most part, except for Christian Slater. So I'm really excited about that. I think December it will be released. I think. But then they're getting all this stuff. But we want Michael C. Hall. We want Michael C. Hall. And okay, yeah, we're glad he's going to narrate the First Blood and all that. But we just Michael C. Hall, Dexter is the biggest thing that ever happened to Showtime, far and away the biggest thing, and past Shameless and past all of them is Dexter. All 8 seasons. Of course, there were 7 seasons. Then they brought it back for another 10 episodes. Dexter New Blood with Dexter's son comes into play that we're going to see now, but he's like 20 years old in this, and everybody's excited. The ratings are going through the roof for Showtime. People are abandoning everything else to watch Dexter on a Sunday night. They don't even want to wait. They want to see it the first run. So now they're thinking, they know it's already been shot, and they know what the 10th episode is going to do. And now they're thinking, oh, we shouldn't have done this. They're going to be furious with us. They're going to be furious. So, but it's already been done. So I guess the 10th episode, and we know what happens in there. The son shoots Dexter. Now, we never really saw him dead, though, did we? Okay. So fans are just disgusted now. They went from loving Showtime to being disgusted with them. So they've been thinking about all this, and the New Blood, the First Blood show, they're very excited about that, but everybody keeps clamoring. So they had a fan convention, one of those con things, And I don't know if it was announced that the special guest was going to be Michael C. Hall, because the actors, including Christian Slater, were there, and they all came out first and talked with the fans and everything. And then they said, our special guest, ladies and gentlemen, Michael C. Hall. Well, the crowd went crazy. This is the most beloved serial killer in the history of television. And his big announcement was that he's doing this now, the narration and the executive producer and all his focus is there. But then in early 2025, he will begin work on Dexter Resurrection. And by summer of next year, I think, we will see the first episodes of Michael C. Hall returning to play Dexter in Dexter Resurrection. And I don't think they'll make the mistake of killing him off in episode 10 this time. I think Michael C. Hall has finally come to the place where he says, every time I do something else, it's like me moving away from the Bob Joyce topic, although on a much grander scale. Every time I do other projects, nobody seems to care. He's a musician. He has a band and all that. And people come because he's, Dexter. But I think he's finally comfortable in the skin that people want him to keep playing Dexter for years to come. And I think Showtime. So there's no doubt I will be getting Showtime again. That is must see TV for me. If the Lord should spare me, and why would He spare me to see Dexter? I don't know. So that's my story. Now I got to catch up here. I hope you're happy as I am, Melissa. I am so excited about that. One of my favorite television shows. Now, I have to say, Mr. Brooks with Kevin Costner is my favorite serial killer movie with Dane Cook and the late, what's his name there, from The Big Chill, John, right? What the heck is his last name? Oh, I hate when that happens, but that's a great movie, Mr. Brooks. But Dexter, New Blood, with Michael narrating it, executive producer, and then Dexter Resurrection in 2025. Oh, so Dexter isn't going to play as a live character, but Michael C. Hall will be narrating. Gotcha. News to me. No, it's going to be, Dexter when he was a boy. But then next year, Dexter Resurrection, and that will be Michael C. Hall as the adult current Dexter. He came, I didn't see the interview yet, but I think he's had work done. He looks really good. He's pretty thin. He looks good. Oh, so that's that. You only can appreciate this if, like Melissa and I, you love Dexter. But if you haven't seen it, all the episodes were sold to Netflix. So you can see all 8 seasons. That's 80 episodes on Netflix. So you can catch up, and there's some great episodes. There really are. I always hit that like button. I love Jack. Well, thank you very much. 99 likes, 88 watching right now. So we've cooled off a little bit, but thank you. Thank you so much for doing that. Richard. And Sarah Ann. Do we have a Sarah Ann here? Never got the pronunciation of Katina's. She doesn't stay too long. She watches the replay. Hi, Red Hawk. How are you? I'm glad you're here, Red Hawk. Let me see. I know you told me where you live, what state, but I'm not quite sure. There's so many to remember. Yes, to me, Jack, like Bert now is just... Here goes one of these Richard comments. Yeah, me to Jack, like Bert, but now it's just my that says that. And you wonder why I have trouble reading your... See, look at what you wrote, read it back a few times, and then hit the send button. Thank you, Sylvia. It was very nice to meet you. I hope you'll come back. We do this on Saturday nights at 10. Sometimes we do a show on Tuesday or Wednesday night at 11 p.m. But then I will pop on to pop off at I think we popped on about just after or just before noontime this week. Pop on to pop off. So if you have your notification bell on, you can catch us there. You can catch us in the and when we just pop on out of the blue, and then there's the pre-recorded videos, lots of videos here at the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned. So please subscribe, hit the like button. 103 people now have done that, and the notification bell. That would be swell. Hey, David, too bad Dexter didn't go to Argentina with a blonde, probably too expensive. The reason I say that's the way our favorite woman up at Wambo in Monticello says, oh, no green beans, too expensive this month. Too expensive. Yeah, I remember the blonde. I do, because that's where the kid went. That's where his son went, right? To Argentina. The very place Elvis went to go into special rehab for mind, body, and soul. Yeah. Joseph Zonk. Hi, Joseph. Just wanted to say hi, Jack, and to everyone. I'm from Mineral Ridge, Ohio. Is it rich in minerals there, Joseph? Is it rich in minerals? And Maxine is here, huh? I missed her coming on. Thank you for saying hello to her, Anastasia. And Darlene is still with us. You aren't reading it right. Yeah. You can't win an argument with Richard. There's only one person that can win an argument, and that would be Vivian Lee Lyon. Vivian Lee Lyon. If Pastor Bob is Elvis, why won't he come out to his fans? Can you answer that for me? Or if he won't come out, do a DNA test. The DNA thing again. Like he doesn't want to do a DNA test. We're not going to sneak his DNA and then try to go to Riley Keough at Graceland and say, can we have some of Elvis's DNA? So that's never going to happen, okay? We tell the whole story here, Zero. And if you don't watch those videos, like watch the verdict, but you don't want to invest that much time. See, you just want to come on and ask questions that it's hard to give you a really complete answer in a live stream. We tell the whole story from 1977 up and a number of videos here. But are you really interested enough, or you just think we're nuts, right? My son thinks I'm nuts, but I think he's coming around a little bit. He'll never tell me, though. He'll never tell me until, if something were announced or something. Yes, of course, Red Hook. I remember now. You're in Kissimmee. You're in Kissimmee, Florida, which is right outside a suburb of Orlando. And got to get down there. The best months to do that would be, I would say, in February is the best month. February and March, best months. You go in October, you could blow from Orlando into Tybee Island, Georgia, I'm not too sure about that. Have you experienced a hurricane? You're kind of in the middle, so that's a little safer. Have you experienced a hurricane or even a tornado, a Ford tornado or a tornado? Hi, David. Too bad Dexter didn't go to Argentina. Yes, I already said that. I know. I'm glad you stopped by, Joseph Zonk. I really am. And Bob 1974 joins us. What year were you born, Bob? Welcome. Carmen Sylvia, there is another Bob here. Time run, LOL. Yeah, Bob 1974 is one of our regulars for the most part. Joseph, which Joseph? We haven't heard from our main Joseph in a while now. If I'm missing you, Joseph, say something, because the stream's moving pretty fast. I've experienced many hurricanes, says Cindy. Yeah, what is it about Louisiana, people talk about the judgment of God and stuff like that. And I think even there was maybe Pat Robertson or one of the TV preachers was saying, because there was forecast that there would be, he was talking about the New Orleans and the debauchery of New Orleans, however you want to say it. And then the hurricane came and it hit into the Bible Belt where the poor people are and destroyed their houses, and it left the French Quarter completely intact. So there goes that theory, Pat Robertson. There's just things we're just never going to know. Many hurricanes. Did you ride them out, Red Hawk, or did you go away? I mean, that one from a couple of years ago, people were just leaving. The whole state was told to leave, I don't know what Richard did. He never told me. And if he did, I hope he types it clearly. Anyone going to Graceland for Elvis Week? That's a good question, Bob 1974. Because is that the week after or the week before the Hot Springs event? I think it's right after, right? Because next weekend is Hot Springs, Arkansas, everybody. Go to georgemagazine.com for full details. georgemagazine.com. Yeah, Craig Oliver, there would probably be a lot of negative consequences if he fessed up to faking his death. Well, I really do think it's imperative that the 9 acres be finished first, and it be very secure with a house, of course, a big house on there. so he doesn't feel confined like he did at Graceland. And obviously he would have to work that out with the owner of the Elvis name, but I think that is something that he could do. Something he could do. Does he want to do it necessarily? I thought that everything was pointing in that direction, but I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I was at Elvis Week in 2019, really. It is so hot and humid there. Yeah, you won't get a break in August, you won't get a break. Yeah, that does kind of hurt, But remember, in Hot Springs, Arkansas, it's inside, air conditioned, I hope, inside the Hot Springs Convention Center. Then Pastor Bob Joyce on Sunday, doors open at 9 a.m. at the Horner Hall Theater for the regular praise service and preaching, and then a baptismal service right there on the stage, not an altar because it's a stage, it's a theater, Um, so I understand the situation you're in, Mary A, because it's kind of my situation too. Um, I am limited in what I can do. And I've always taken cheap vacations. I know how to take a cheap vacation and still have a nice time. I'm not going, Brenda Sage, as I said before. Things have kind of changed for me in terms of my responsibilities, my monthly responsibilities. Some renegotiating happened, which is allowable. And so now, my retirement income is smaller. We're talking about $1,400-$1,500 for what would be a day and a half, whether I fly and the rent a car and they pay to park your car and long-term parking, the hotels, the food, I'm 19 hours up the road if I drive, so it's the same expenses. So as much as I would love to, I just I'm going to have to say no. I'm going to have to say no, I'm not. I'm trying to line up right now people that are going to do video for us. And hopefully that'll work out, working my contact list of people that I know for sure are going. Now, some, like Elizabeth, are just going on Sunday. And there's a number that are just going on Sunday. And then there's people that are going both days. Nobody's going just Saturday, I don't think, It won't be like that. So, Mary just mentioned Trump. Maybe when Trump gets in, praying it might be better then. Well, it was better when President Trump was in office. And here comes 3 minutes of politics followed by a rant. Some of it I did, though, in the I don't want to visit the Department of Redundancy department too much. But we did see once again Kamala Harris having word salad when the hostages. So glad those people came home. That's the number one thing, and that's the first thing President Trump should have said. So happy that they are home. Don't say I got 59. It's real important that he chooses his words carefully, because as Michael Savage said, who I watch here, and I emulate him in a character, as Michael Savage said. First of all, the all-white boy ticket in 2024, not a good idea. He should have picked Tulsi Gabbard, who would have been to go after Carmela like nobody else can. It would have been a better choice, but he can certainly win with Vance. I like J.D. Vance, some things he said a while ago, the childless cat ladies and things like that. I don't even know what context he said that in, but I think that, the older you get, the more mature you get, and your feelings change. Michael Savage said, and he had a glass of wine or two when he said this. He says Trump's he's going to sabotage it again. He's going to sabotage it again. And we don't want him to sabotage it. We don't want him to do that. We want him to be very careful what he says, stick to policy. Don't make statements like, I didn't even know she was black. Kamala Harris, she wasn't black till a few years ago or what have you. Someone said that the ABC reporter that was so disgustingly rude to President Trump was fired. Is that true? I didn't verify that. What's her name? She's a nobody in my book. And it makes David Muir look really bad. We already know that he's, that he's a Democrat. Um, and it's fine. But, when you start slanting the news and you won't cover this and you won't cover that, and you have people on that are all on a mission to see a Democratic win, remember, they're ready to spend up to $1 billion on this election to get Kamala Harris elected, and nobody likes her, including them. Nobody likes her, but she's the one. She made sure of it. Phone calls right away. We're not going to wait to the convention and see how the voting goes then. She had the nomination sewn up within 24 hours. No democracy there. No chance for a Gavin Newsom, who, of course, we don't want. Or maybe a Joe Manchin. I could live with Joe Manchin. No chance of that. She made sure that she got everybody on her side, on Team Harris, This is the woman that didn't even make it to Iowa when she ran for president. Didn't even make it to Iowa. And in the first debate, Tulsi tore her a new one. Hi, Ruthie. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's actually true. There are tons of videos where Kamala refers to herself as an Indian woman. She is such a joke. But, boy, this is a joke that could end up on us, and I don't want that. Shell, you are making those predictions again. Why would she ever do that? What could happen is Biden is out by September or even during the convention. And although it makes me totally nauseous to say this, we will be dealing with President Trump running against President Harris. Oh, dear. I got to go get me some Bromo seltzer. Remember Bromo seltzer? It's like Bismarex. My father used to have Bismarex. And I don't think they make it anymore, Ruthie. What do you think? I don't know. David's saying the first live 50s Elvis unreleased recording since 2012 was found in 2024, including an interview. On YouTube. Elvis Presley concert in Toledo, Ohio on November 22nd, 1956. Just for your information, if you want to listen. Andra, Kamala speaks Southern in a black crowd recently, but she's from Canada. The funny thing was she didn't get it right. She said you all instead of y'all. She can't even get that right. But, she got forced to ad-libbing. Now, as I said last week, you're going to see a totally different Kamala when she does speeches and, basically when she does speeches, 2 teleprompters, one on the left, one from the right, written by some very gifted speechwriters that will make her sound smarter than she's ever sounded before. It's when she has to ad-lib, as she got forced to do, when the hostages showed up, Biden said a few words. It wasn't terrible, but he seems like he's just such a shell of his former self. And then she had to say something. She's running for president, for goodness sake. She's got a comment. And what followed was a typical Kamala word salad. And Biden was looking at her like, oh, my God. It's the look on his face, like, oh, geez. And he's the one that gave us this president. Kamala. No one else would have picked her. Nobody else would have picked her to be their running mate, all based on her gender and ethnicity. It's just terrible. It's just, we're talking about America here. So anyway, Trump said on Truth Social that he'd like to debate her September 4th, but on Fox. It's fair. The last time they got everything they wanted. They got NBC. They got CNN, right? CNN. And they got Dana Bash and Jake Tapper, nobody there. But it worked because they let the president say what he wanted to. They muted mics, but that worked well for Trump because it kept him focused and gave him more time to think about what he was going to say. Like when Biden just was totally out to lunch, he said, I don't know what he just said. I don't think he knows either. And it's not, the cognitive decline is nothing to laugh about. But, if you can't be president in January 21st, do you want to be president? Do you want him to be president till January 20th? I think so. I do, to tell you the truth, the way it lines up, because he's already delegated various departments to basically run the show. But then Blinken's got some terrible ideas, and then we've got the State Department and what have you. And I used to love Admiral Kirby, but to me, he's, I know you want to keep your job, you love your job, but it's a bridge too far when you defend some of the things that's happened in the last 3.5 years, including the mess in Afghanistan with the troop withdrawal. So there you go. That's 3 minutes of politics, but I did say a rant as well. Rick Pierce, I won't rant for long. If you're new, I tune in, this guy's ranting. But I do have to say something. Ask Judge Brown how Kamala got her job. Oh, dear. I think she's even been to Epstein Island, but we won't raise that topic, will we? Because she's not the only one that's been to Epstein Island. Oh, dear. See, this is why I was for Governor DeSantis, and I love Trump. I love him. I appreciate what he did for this country in the first 4 years he was there. And then he had to deal with COVID towards the end. And I think he did as best as he could, you know. You could tell right away he didn't like the Fauci, because Fauci was taking up too much of his limelight, for one thing. But anyway, I was for Ron DeSantis, and I'm kind of sad now that his chances of ever being president are somewhat diminished, especially if in 2028 it's J.D. Vance that's going to run if we should be victorious. Here's the best thing I can tell you before I close out the 3 minutes of politics. Everyone has always told me it's the economy, stupid. It's the economy. If the economy is good, you win the election. If it's not, you don't. The job reports for July were terrible. People know how much they're spending on everything. My goodness, my rice pudding in the dairy section. Everybody knows the name of this. It used to be 2 for $4 on sale. Now one is $5.99. It just sits there. You know, people are, I'm going to wait till Haagen-Dazs is on sale if I'm going to buy Haagen-Dazs. I'm not going to pay $7.99 for a pint when I can get 2 for $6 or whatever. You can tell I like the sweets. I know his gospel music has always been my favorite. And if you listen on Spotify, YouTube Music to He Hideth My Soul, which, by the way, is on his brand new album, which debuts next weekend, Safely Home, Bob Joyce, Safely Home, recorded just outside of Nashville. It will include a full orchestra on some tracks. Not that he sang along with it. He did his part, and then a very gifted engineer will put it all together. That's how it works this time. But He Hideth My Soul, that we play in the video, Elvis Evidence, Elvis Bob Joyce / Bob Joyce Evidence in rapid fire. We play Elvis singing in the beginning, I think in the garden, and then we play Bob Joyce singing He Hideth My Soul at the end of that video. I can't monetize that video, but that's fine. So listen to He Hideth My Soul on that video, Bob Joyce, Elvis Evidence in rapid fire. And you tell me, is that Bob Joyce or is that early Elvis Presley? You tell me. Rick, what's going on? I remember watching Elvis's last concert in Hawaii. Well, his very last concert was in Hawaii, but you mean the famous satellite concert? Yeah, I watched it too. I was watching it down at the corner of Wisner and Midland with the Candidos and Rosie Cortez. Rosie Cortez, her 300-pound color TV console, Yeah, those were the days. No clickers or anything. Who are you talking to? What's your favorite Elvis songs, and do you post tomorrow? Don't confuse this with a Facebook group. This is a video channel. I don't think I'll be posting anything tomorrow. I don't do a video obviously every day. We do 1 to 2 live shows a week, and I try to get 1 to 2 pre-recorded videos up a week, something like that. Occasionally it's more. There's plenty of stuff to watch here that tells the whole story. Yeah, the last concert, says Rob under Woodsley Summercraft. Last concert was in Indianapolis. So, whenever whenever I feel I've got something, Zero the dog, it's different than a Facebook group, obviously. I don't post every day because you don't. One of the rules of YouTube, being a creator on YouTube, is you don't get in the way of a hot video. If there's something that's doing pretty well, or certainly like when the Gene Ho interview, which I hope you watch. When I loaded that, it came bam right hard out of the gate. No, I'm not going to do something else and block that. I'm going to let that just ride Woodley Summercraft's waves like his Summercrafts do, So that's how you do it there. My favorite Elvis songs, The Wonder of You, If I Can Dream, Kentucky Rain is cool. One Night with You. Obviously American Trilogy, and I do like his version of Always on My Mind. Many, 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 many others. It's Elvis. That voice coming from Bob is Elvis, says Marlene, all in big print. We have 2 Marlenes. Yeah, that's cool. So, Pastor Bob Rick says Pastor Bob Joyce sure looks and sounds like Elvis. Oh my goodness, we're over 2 hours again. He gives me tears when I watch and hear him, I guess, something like that. Mary in the morning. There's nothing quite as pretty as Mary in the morning. I used to sing that to my first wife. I did. Yeah. All right. I don't even feel like ranting now, so maybe that's a good thing. I'm just going to say this, gang. Here's the deal. This is not the season. November 5th is not the time to throw your vote away. If you don't like Trump because he said, remember when he was speaking to Billy Bush, he thought he was speaking confidentially, and he was talking locker room talk. Men like to boast, and Billy was playing off of it. I don't know how. Billy must have known they were recording and what have you. Guys do talk like that, especially guys that don't know Jesus as their personal savior, and many that do that are flawed Christians as well. That's the way guys talk, They try to talk to impress the other guy and what have you. So if there's that, or the abortion issue, we've talked about the abortion issue with President Trump. He's for 15 weeks. He's for keeping the abortion pill, all the exceptions. He wants it to be decided by the states, give the power back to the people. That's how he sees it. He is, of course, against partial birth abortion. And if you're not, and we're not talking about because of the mother's life or something, I don't understand you, but that's between you and God. So I think he did a heck of a lot for the country in the 4 years that he was president. He was he had the economy humming. He there were no wars during his presidency. So maybe you're just stuck on something you don't like about Trump, and you're going to say, well, I'm going to vote for, let's say, Bobby Kennedy. The Kennedy mystique of John F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, and even Ted Kennedy, I would say. That Kennedy mystique, I don't see it. I don't see it in Junior. I don't see it at all. What I see is a guy who's very liberal. Think about each issue. Think about all the things they're planning on doing, killing fossil fuel. Now Kamala Harris says, I'm not for that anymore. I'm not that heavy into the Green New Deal, which is going to make those people furious. So they're going to be mad at her. That's a good sign. And all that. But, Bobby Kennedy is not in any of the debates. He's going to get 4 or 5%. I'm not sure if he's going to take more away from Trump or Kamala. I'm not really sure because of a condition he has with his throat. He has a very raspy voice, so he's not easy to listen to. He has no chance, and this is just not the time. Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? They're going to F up America. That is what I'm saying. The progressives and their agenda. You're not going to be working for a police department because they don't even believe in law and order. Kamala is for and has said, but she's changing that too now. Defund the police. She spits on you. She has no desire. You can't, if you are in law enforcement, in my personal opinion, you can't be for that. You can't be for someone that doesn't care about soldiers, that said to the that was all for the BLM riots that burned down black businesses and all that, and said they're not going to stop. They're not going to stop. She worked to get them out of prison, have a fund for them to get reparations. You cannot be part of ushering that in and tell me that you love America. You can't hate Trump that much. Get over the Trump derangement syndrome. Get over it. Trust me, he's going to put qualified people in there that will bring the state of Texas and Arizona and even California back up to a place of sanity. So please don't throw your vote away. These third party independent candidates never do jack shit. Don't do it. Don't do it, please, for America. If you have kids and grandchildren, they're going to live in a nightmare based on that kind of a decision if Trump loses this election November 5th. Now, of course, God is in control of the whole thing, and he can change everything, but he tends to let us have our folly. He tends to let us have the leaders that we deserve. And with that, I will take my blood pressure medication. That's my rant. Have you noticed the country's become unrecognizable in the 3.5 years? You're going to throw your vote away? I don't get that. But I love you. I do. I do. How do I transition into reading the Word of God? Well, because that's what we do here. Good night, all. God bless you, and vote Trump. And save America. Please stock up on water and food. You want to get that Patriot food too? Yeah. It's delicious too, they tell you. And it lasts for what, 35 years? I don't need anything that's going to last me 35 years, I can tell you that. Jerry Bridges, not Lloyd Bridges, not Jeff Bridges, not Bo Bridges. I love listening to Pastor Bob Joyce. He is extremely talented and blessed. Deborah Lake, late again, just in time for my ranting. I didn't rant all show. I promise you, it was just those few minutes. How are you, Deborah? Is everything good? Everything good? Well, Rick, we heard some pretty horrifying things about Mr. Trudeau, I have to say. Look, he was so vengeful and has taken a lot of people's rights away, is what we hear. Tucker Carlson talks a lot about Trudeau and what he did to the truckers. Okay, you got to get the roads open. I understand that. But then you try to destroy the rest of their lives, your truckers who you need. I don't like Trudeau at all. His father, I remember growing up, I was a boy. His father was the prime minister then. I think he might have been a decent man. Thank you, Cheryl Larson. I appreciate that. Good night, Shell. Vote for Trump so there still is an America for your grandsons and granddaughters. Exactly. For your nieces and nephews. Still an economy. Still some more glory years for America. How could you throw your vote away? We always like to end with the Word of God. We're coming up not too far from 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's what we do here. We get excited, Jesus speaking, Matthew 24 in the NIV, beginning with verse 4. Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Christ, and will deceive many. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Not alarmed. Remember, he did not give us a spirit of fear. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains, just the beginning of birth pains. Then you will be handed over to be persecuted and put to death. He's talking to the apostles here, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. Also applies to us in many ways. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other, and many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, we're in the time of an increase of wickedness. The love of most will grow cold, but he who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come. 24th chapter of Matthew, the Lord Jesus speaking. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody here. Still 76 watching. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Good night, Carmen. Good night, everybody. There's so many of you. Thank you for those that hit the thanks button, or will in the replay crowd. Thank you so much. Thank you for hitting the subscribe and like button, and always hit that notification bell so you'll know when we pop on to pop off or put up a new video and such. Okay. This show will be available for replay now in the live section of this channel, the Virtual Church of the Disillusioned, the 8/3/24 show. Bye-bye for now.